G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an ISO Hemlock. This is a weapon that has been ported from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 from 2023, which is different to the ISO that we saw originally. That one was ported from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2022, so technically different weapons, but also the same. This weapon mod features custom sounds and animations, very akin to that which you would find it in its native Call of Duty game. It also features some customization, so let's get into it. Oh, one last thing. Still not keen on the name. I think it's a terrible name. ISO Hemlock sounds like a very obscure Star Wars character that only readers of the expanded universe material would actually know of. I shit you not, I just looked this up. There's a character in the Disney canon called Royce Hemlock. He was that guy that ran the cloning facility in, what's it called? The Bad Batch, and the guy that always talks and whispers and sounds all passive-aggressive all the time. Yeah, what a weirdo. Okay, so maybe it's not expanded universe material. Anyway, so he's got a brother called ISO. He developed ballistic rifles despite the galaxy being, in like an energy weapon age, but he was a real Jedi killer. Jedi can't block bullets. The bullets would just split and fizzle into tiny little shards of hot metal if they went through a lightsaber, and that's not good if you're trying to deflect them. Plus, they go at a much faster velocity. Like, even I, without all of the Jedi reflexes and powers, can see when a laser bolt is coming at me. And my source for that is that I made it the fuck up. Ask Star Wars Explained in Star Wars Theory. They'll back me up on that one. Oh, right, weapon, but I'm not here to talk shit. But I could be. So, the ISO Hemlock is based on a real-life rifle or carbine called the BNT APC 556, which, by the looks of this thing in its COD incarnation, they've given it a little bit of a facelift to make it look even more modern, because they've got a bunch of these tactical rails, or these Picatinny rails, I should say. So that's a Nerf gun terminology, but you get the idea. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I quite like it. So I suppose we'll get into the attachments. So what do you get with this thing? Well, you get automatic receivers. Auto powerful gives you 102 damage. I believe that is the exact same as you get out of a vanilla game assault rifle. So yeah, that's pretty nice. We've got a legendary effect provided by legendary modification. We'll skip over that. And on your lower rail, you can put in a bunch of grips. All of this is from Call of Duty, complete with the flavor text here, which probably doesn't have too much bearing on how the weapon might perform, but according to this, it'll add the DPS. Don't worry about that one. That one is a visual bug. We'll go for a stubby little grip on this one, and next we'll go over to the sights, and it's got all these generic COD name sights because licensing fees and blah blah blah. So we'll find ourselves a cool reflex sight. Some of these have laser sights attached to them as well, which is nice. There's some with risers, some that are basically wide open monocle looking sights. We've got to go for a Western version though. I'm feeling the aim point here. We'll throw that one on, and you get a different selection of magazines. Standard 30, less than that, you can have a 20-round magazine, why would you? Or a 45-round magazine, which is a little bit better. That's pretty nice. We'll throw that one on. And now we go over to the grips, which you won't be seeing too much in first person, but cool. You get that customization option in Call of Duty, so why not have it here? And next, we've got the barrels. This one looks like an integral suppressed barrel, right? Because we get that a little bit extra damage thanks to Ace Operator. It doesn't increase our range at all, which at 107 is actually pretty low. But there's some barrels here which extended the rifle to an acceptable extent and will actually increase our range stat, as I totally miss the barrel slot there. Yes, this one is the best for overall range. This one is slightly different. Actually, the handguard's different. The barrel's the same length, but for some reason has less range. That's interesting. There's also stubbier barrels as well, which have the exact same stats as your standard one that we saw just before. Interesting point of balancing there. And you can have a fast hands thing to speed up that animation. This DPS thing really wants to jump up every time I put a modification on it, but hope you're not worrying about it. Anyways, you also got a selection of stocks you can put on this thing. One of these looks like a Scar stock, so I'm going to throw that one on. Looks awful, actually. I'm going to do... Honestly, the standard one looks the best, but we'll throw on that one. Looks like a UMP 45 stock. That'll do. And now we go over to the ammunition. You can have 300 blackout rounds, which will reduce your rate of fire by a slight amount. and will increase your overall damage per shot and also DPS. Now, if you're using this thing with the sneak criticals, obviously the modifiers for the sneak criticals, the multipliers, will make that damage go a lot further than just the plus 12 that we're seeing now. So I'll sacrifice a little bit of that rate of fire just to get more damage per bullet. It still uses the same 5.56 rounds though, so the plug and play aspect here still remains despite this extra customization options. Sticklers for detail might want to find a munitions version of this mod later on to actually chamber in the correct round that the attachment point shows. And you've also got an option for an extraneous damage slider here, so you get a free damage slider should you want to up the damage in case you feel like it's lagging behind. And, of course, we've got muzzles. You can have a broadhead, that's a suppressor. All of these things that increase the damage will be suppressors, a bunch of recoil compensating or controlling or muzzle brakes on these things. So, plenty of fluff in here for your viewing pleasure. This suppressor looks good. We'll put on the Spirit Fire because why not? I think it's statistically on par with the rest of them, so yeah, we'll do that one. Anyway, so that's our ISO Hemlock. I'll show you how to get them, and then we'll start blasting. On your chemistry workbench, find weapons, ISO Hemlock, and you'll be able to craft these for these materials and the assault rifles. So it functionally makes it an assault rifle replacer, but you got to put the assault rifles in order to get the ISO Hemlock. So that level gates it at around level 20 to 30-ish. I'm not actually sure when the assault rifles start spawning in, but it makes it for a late-ish game type weapon, and you can be really special because since it's not on the level list, you can be unique and have the only ISO Hemlock in the Commonwealth, or the only 4 in this case. Okay, so here we are outside of the Immersive Gunners Plaza once again. Here is my 5.7 liter Hemi in first person. When you aim down sights, the aim point looks like that, which is great because the contrast on this particular dot on this sight is good, which I can pretty much see it everywhere. It's got a slightly darker red ring around it, which means you can contrast it against anything, but that might be a little bit of a COD design thing that they make it so you can actually see where you're aiming at all the time. So that's very helpful. We don't see that all the time with weapon mods. So a quick look at this in third person. You'll notice that the foregrip animation, it doesn't work unless you're shooting. Your handles sort of shift down. And I think we've also got a tactical reload component on this thing, so we'll do the charging handle animation should we fully empty the magazine. Yep, just the bolt catch release, I suppose that's what you call it, but that's what it looks like in aiming down sights. And just like any good COD port, there's not much recoil to speak of, so it's going to be fairly controllable. I've actually switched over to the 5.56s just because I want that extra rate of fire, because the 300 blackouts we'll use in our sniper status, the rate of fire difference is subtle, but I want the slightly faster fire rate on a closer range weapon. Makes more sense. Anyway, so this one's got a scope, and that's pretty much it. There's different attachments on it, but pretty much the same deal here. Next, we've got the super close quarters compact version. This one does not have a suppressor, and it sounds like this. And lastly, we've got one for the COD bros. This one uses just the standard iron sights because COD bros love their iron sights for some reason, but you know, we don't get any VATs or anything bonuses from using these things in Fallout 4, so generally we leave them on the wayside, but we can find a place for them. Anyway, so let's begin. Since we've got basically zero recoil, we can easily just hold down the trigger and lay down big fat bursts. I think performance-wise, this might be getting better damage per shot than your assault rifle of the vanilla game, but the assault rifle, I feel like it shoots faster and has a greater mag capacity. You can get an 80 round drum magazine in that thing, so although it's kind of blowing everything away right now, like compared to a vanilla game assault rifle, I think we could be doing slightly better with that. Not that it really means much because, well, we're just kind of crushing everything, and even from there, I'm just hitting them like there's nothing they can do. So I suppose we'll stop stealth cheesing and we'll get straight into it. We'll use our 5.56 powered normal one. There we go. We were flattering this weapon a little bit with the gratuitous stealth crittery that we were doing. But in close quarters, against these guys in a proper fight, this thing can dish out some good damage as well. I am glad that I've got extra little bit of magazine size and just that extra 15 bullets in the mag. Just helps me a little bit. If I can't get the kill done with the 45 bullets, then I think I'm in a little bit of trouble. Just monitoring the AP usage of this thing a little bit. It's pretty good, I suppose. Pretty much standard is what you'd find with any rifle in this game, and that guy was weirdly vibrating. I don't know what his problem was. But I think you get the idea, so let's go over to Mega Close Quarters version. Now, without Ace Operator, this thing's going to suffer even more of a damage penalty, but I think we'll be just fine. Wow, nice bangs. Ooh, combat music has kicked in. We've got some XCOM tracks going if you've never heard them before. XCOM Enemy Unknown / Within. I keep hearing a ping of a railway gun, so I'm thinking there's a few Rust Devils that have shown up here. Right? Something's going on here. We are kind of surrounded at the moment, but don't you worry. This thing has a brilliant hipfire accuracy, so I can just run up close and not have to worry about aiming down sights at all. In its close quarters role, it's doing quite well. And we can even reach out and touch them from back here. We're not doing terrible damage, so yeah. Even with the much shorter barrels that we're seeing on this thing, it's not much of a problem. Cop that. Okay, we haven't used the ADS of the iron sights, so we'll do that one just for a little bit. Just this once. Door breach. Pretend that I kicked open that door. Oh, mysterious stranger. Get out of the way, please. Well, that could have gone better, that last little door bridge section, but I think you get the idea. It wasn't blowing enemies away, but it was still we're able to use it effectively enough to clear out the gunners that we found here without breaking too much of a sweat. So yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, does it work with classic holster weapons? It should, you know. Yes, it does. This is Iris, by the way. She's dressed differently, inspired by a live stream where Iris went and visited what's it called? Point Lookout with Violet, who doesn't have violet hair for some reason. Yeah, I don't get it either. Oh, looks like I found the Rust Devils. They took a detour. They got their little robot destroyed, and now they're taking the long way around. So all I'll do is we'll take their heads off one by one. No, I'm in danger. Still, I'm getting auto crits at this point. Bit of gun foo for you. And you know what? Let's just roll on to the next segment. Welcome to the Swan. He'll spawn in shortly. There he is. And provided we don't get any pesky spawns underneath him, which are annoying, we can get right into it. Let's add all of the criticals in the mix. Oh, the spawns happened. Great. Well, I'm going to have to kill whatever they are. Give me those sneak criticals. Give it to me. Well, that could have gone better. Whoa! I've never been staggered on a grappling hook before. Now, are you planning on doing anything? Yes. Muscle memory kicked in there, went for the dodge when it was totally unnecessary. Yeah, I don't think you stand a chance today, Mr. Swan. Try to get some of these crits back, I suppose. We don't have a whole lot of AP. Oh, Mysterious Stranger. This could be a good distraction, actually. He might be helpful for me. Oh, yeah, he's getting his full measure of damage. I think what I should do is just let him spawn all the time because... Oh, he actually made it through? Wow, he's evolving. Took you long enough. You know what? I like the Mysterious Stranger coming out. This might be the perfect moment to use Super Close Quarters version. I don't know if it procs on a per shot basis, but eventually we should be seeing him again, right? Come on, man. One crit. I'm constantly spoofing this weapon's VAT sound because I'm going in and out of VATs whilst I'm already firing, so that's why it's acting all weird. Not the fault of the mod author or the weapon mod itself, just me being an idiot. Okay, well, looks like I can win this tank off, Swan. Just a little bit more. Nope. Okay, that took way longer than I would have hoped, but wow, he poked me with his big stick when he landed on me. There you go, mate. Just hanging around, are ya? Well, you can keep that rolling pin firmly shoved up you know where. Let's move on to another monster. Okay, this time it is the time to lock in, so let's get this sorted out. First of all, we'll take out the little ones, and then we'll move on to the big one. We kind of wasted all of my luck on that first kill for Mysterious Stranger. No, I meant Grim Reaper's sprint, but the Mysterious Stranger has shown up anyway. That's okay. He's going to get me some of my AP back. There we go. Now that is proper long-ish range stealth commandoing right there. You just sit down, Mr. Wendigo. And a couple of double taps just to be sure. See, that's what I was trying to do against the Swan, but no, we had to go here and eat corpse. Iris, we talked about this. You don't eat ghouls, or humans, or super mutants. Okay, I haven't really explored this thing that much in VATS, so let's do a little bit of VATS, I suppose. We've got a coin flip chance of hitting him from back here, so if we add some criticals to the mix to get this going, I can't crit. That's okay, I guess. We got some of these, yeah, we've got 4 crits ready to go. Let's use them. As he gets closer, those crits should be hitting for much harder. But if he gets too close, he'll detect us. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. And as he's running around, we'll get our AP back. Slowly but surely. And now, we'll hit him up again. 1 crit to start off with, just to make sure concentrated fire can reel in the rest of them. Now he's coming closer again, and we'll reposition. See, the irony here is using this Call of Duty gun like a Battlefield player. I remember the rooftop camping in Battlefield 4. I never really liked it. That's why I sat in a tank. The worst thing they could do to me is lock on. I can break line of sight there, and he went inside and found the ladder apparently. Okay. Have to admit, didn't see that one coming. Todd Howard, you magnificent bastard, you've done it again. Didn't know they could do that. I just like to think they were just sitting there in their radio station doing boring radio station things, and here comes this giant Myler King charging through and scrambles himself up the elevator, the staircase to do that. Question is, can you do it again? Also, can you attack me from here? Yes, that'll probably hit. We'll just sit under VATS protection for that one. Oh, yep, there he goes. Now they've done it. He's done it the second time. Surely by now the radio workers would be a little bit suspicious. Hey, they chose to set up shop next to a giant Myler King, so that's their fault. Also, he cloaks now. That must be like his mutation threshold bonus. Come on, give me some of these crits. Come on, give it to me, give it to me. Oh, Mysterious Stranger's even shown up. You get a couple of shots on him. Wow, he got wrecked instantly. Yes, 400 damage he took there. I think I'd take double that because I'm on very hard, so that's even, you know, that's before we factor in resistance and such, but we should be getting sneak criticals now, game. Why aren't we? That's better. Just had to switch weapons over. That did the job. Must have lost that tiny little bit of aggro. Okay, I think you get the idea. So that there was the ISO Hemlock, again, in Modern Warfare 3 form instead of Modern Warfare 2. What are the differences? Don't rightly know. I don't think they'd be too significant anyway. I think these guys, in terms of their COD ports, do things pretty well by the books. I think this one's definitely balanced, right? Because it's not going to be blowing enemies away. And I think DPS-wise, you'll still get beaten out by just a handmade rifle from the Nuka World DLC, which is fine, I suppose. But again, you can always tune it up if you feel like you're not doing quite enough damage. So, yeah. Anyways, if you all want to see this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. I'm going to leave that Super Mutant alive to tell the tale here, and we'll stand in this exhaust all dramatically like, and the flashlight is nowhere near where I thought it would. Anyways, yeah, link will be in the description if you want. Iris, she's also a follower mod. She doesn't quite look like this if you download her on Xbox or on PC, but you can get mods to make her look like this on PC. Xbox, who knows? I'm not familiar with the modding landscape on consoles at all. Except for PS4. Those are terrible mods, and you should get a different console, like, soon. Like, PlayStation's got no games anyway, so you're doing yourself a favor by throwing it out and getting at least an Xbox. Anyways, rant aside, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.